Hey everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. I hope you've had a lovely weekend and I hope that you enjoyed joining in with our fairy festival. I mean, we had so much lovely crafting, it was lovely to see people, but also to be able to engage with people online. You know, fellow crafters, it is just so nice. So thank you for your continued support on here. And I'm so pleased that you love this new collection. I love it. You know me, you know what type of things I like, and florals, vintage. So hence I couldn't resist making this design. A quick design, but effective. And also I'm thinking this would cover a lot of different eventualities and it could be used for a card for a male friend, which again, you keep asking. So this is the finished design. And it all starts with a 5.5 inch. So you're not using a huge piece of card. Now, again, I know some of you like your rectangle, but you could take something of the sides of this and make it on your A6 just by taking a little bit off the width. So again, you can alter it to fit what type of card you want to make. Be great in a journal as well. You could add the bumble and hum. You could add some fairies. Again, this is just a starting point for you. So I'm going to pop that over there and we're going to start as always with our stamping. And I'm going to use stamps from two different collections. We've got the Poppy Dwellings and the Poppy Lodges. And I'm going to start with this lovely tall one here. But if you notice, on the finished design, I've got some ivy at the bottom. Now, I didn't want a lot of stamping under that ivy. So what I've done is I've got some of my Lavinia low-tack tape and I just tore a piece, sort of about that width, but I didn't want a harsh edge. So, and for me, these little things like this make all the difference. And I just want to tear, I'm going to have to come this way now. I don't want to cut it because I want that almost jaggedy edge. And I know I could use a piece of copy paper, but I want this to just stick down. So I'm just going to pop that there. Now my stamping, I'm going for vintage, so pine cone. I love this colour. And this is going to be my middle stamp. So I'm going to go, as I say, for the middle. Make sure that the bottom of the stem doesn't come off your masking tape. Lovely. So much detail in these stamps. And I'm just going to give that a wipe because I need to take it off my block and I'm really trying to keep my fingers as clean as possible. So my next one, I've just angled slightly, and that's the beauty of Lavinia stamps. Remember, you can angle them on your block. So again, same colour ink, and I'm just going to build up the design. Now, I think if you wanted to batch card make, you could make quite a few of these, and very simply. So this one we're going to just go for roughly the same angle. But do you know what? What we're doing, want it to look natural. So at the end of the day, don't stress too much over it. Same colour. And this one we'll just pop here. And then this one, I'm just going to give a wipe with a wet cloth and then dry it with my Inky Binky, just because I want to angle it the other way now. And again, I don't want to get ink on my fingers. And again, make sure my block's not resting on my finished piece, just in case I've got ink on the bottom of my block. And then we'll just finish it off and pop this one here. So we've got the nice 5, but we've got that nice natural sort of look. So what we can do now is take the low tack masking tape off. If you're worried it won't come off, just pop your heat tool on it. But I have no trouble with Lavinia, it's fabulous. Now the stamp I'm going for now, I've had this a long time. Look at this, this is one of my very first and it's called Climbing Ivy. And I just love this, and I don't use it very much. Well, I didn't until I got it out the other day, and I've been using it quite a lot. And I'm going to stamp this along the bottom. And there's 2 stamps on this larger one and a smaller one. Both very, very useful. So this, I'm just going to stamp once along the bottom there. Then I'm just going to give it a quick wipe, and I'm going to change colour. Now, even though I'm going for a lighter colour, I do like to just wipe my stamp just because of contamination. But I'm going to come in with Portobello now. So it's just that shade lighter brown. And I'm going to turn the stamp round. If you notice, we've got 2 leaves at this side and 1 on this side. So I'm going to stamp my 2 leaves. I'm just going to stamp slightly above. So we've got that little bit of contrast look. And then with the smaller one, and I just need a little piece of copy paper for this. So we'll just tear one off there. And again, with the Portobello, I'm just going to come in, and we're going to have some ivy. You know what it's like growing up our lovely poppies. So we'll have that one there. Now I just need to angle it a little bit just because it's easier for me. I'm just going to stamp a little bit of ivy just growing up these poppies. Now while I'm doing that, it gives me a chance to just catch up and ask you how you are. I hope you're doing okay. I hope things are going okay in your world. I just want a little bit deeper there. Yes, happy with that. So I hope everything's going okay. If you need a hug, as always, we're here for you, and we can come in and give you a lovely big hug. Because it's horrible if you're just on your own and you just want somebody to say, do you know what, you're special. You really are. And you're worth it. And just make yourself that brew. Get yourself a biscuit and just relax. Because do you know what? I'm going to add some colour to this, but it's going to be so easy. But don't tell anyone. You know I love my cheats. So I'm going to add the stencil next. And I decided to go for this one called Charming. I just liked the way, I was thinking of like the seeds flowing. And again, I just find it easy to just angle it slightly. Now, I don't want to come below the ivy. I could put masking tape, but I can see where it is. So if I hold it there, that'll remind me not to go over my fingers. And the colour I've gone for is Truffle. So I've gone for the large stencil brush, and as always, I'm inking up in the lid. And one of the reasons I can do that is, obviously, this is a non-slip mat, so it makes it nice and easy, look. So I can have one hand on my stencil and one hand just blending in the lid. And I'm just going to start, give myself sort of a line there where the ivy is. And then I want to go over the whole design, over the poppy heads. Then I'm going to get some ink off the lid. I'm not going to go in the ink pad. There'll be plenty in that lid. Let's make these inks last and work for us. I don't want to waste any. Last little bit, I want it a bit deeper here. If I want to check how we're looking, oh, actually, I like that. It's a good job I did check because I don't want any more. That I'm going to spritz and pop in my journal. But look at that. I mean, I love that, and I think you could actually leave that at this stage. But I want to add a little bit more colour. So I've gone for the Sahara, and I've gone down to my number 3 brush. And again, as always, in the lid's my palette, and I'm just going to come in and go around the seed heads and the stem. And I'm going outside the lines. Obviously, if you want to use your pencils and colour in the heads, but I'm purposely wanted the colour to almost look like it was popping out, exploding, you know, like the seed heads do. But also I thought this is a lovely quick technique for if you haven't got long, or if you're struggling with Mr. Mojo, or I know a few of you have had wrist problems, a couple of you have had operations. So this, I'm thinking, if you haven't got if your wrist's sore and you can't sit and colour, it might be you want to sit and colour, in which case, do you know what, enjoy every minute. Now, that one's quite dark, which I'm happy with, but I just need to even it up on this side. So if I darken that and then just come in and darken that, I think that balances it lovely. Again, how lovely is that? So a couple of little finishing tricks, just your white Signo pen, and we'll just add a couple of highlights. I'm going to put a dot in each one of these going round. And just in there, and we'll just go down here. Same here. The little windows. And then we'll just add. And it's up to you how much you want to add. I don't want to overcook it with my highlights. Have a couple on the ivy. Just a little bit going down here. Just so we can see where it... Yeah, stop there. And then yellow Sparkle Posca. You know I love this. And again, I want those lovely seeds. So I'm just going to pop it. So again, a good shake. Remember, that's the sweet bit. That's where you just tap it. And again, just tap. And I'm going to direct it, look, just around those seed heads. So these are my seeds bursting out of the seed heads. And gentle tapping, look, I'm not going mad. I had a word with my Posca. I told it to behave. If it won't, a good shake and just its pump action, so pump the nib. But can you see those lovely speckles? And as again, they're just here. And then finally, one of my lovely sentiment stickers. Now, this could take me a while, couldn't it? What do you think? I think walk your path, because I think it's important that we all do walk our own path. And that can be taken two ways, can't it? When I'm walking Eric, I can be walking my path, or it could be my creativity path. I'm walking my own. And I'm just going to put, again, with my scissors, look. If you wanted to put a couple of sentiments, you could put one in that corner and one in that corner. But I think this little space here is perfect for that sentiment. So there's the one we've created today. Now bring in the one. Now this I've mounted on a 7.5 inch large piece of white card, just to show you what it would look like with some brown around it. So I do hope you've enjoyed that, and you take very good care of yourselves. And you know what? I'm going to pop back again tomorrow. So sleep well. Much love and hugs from me. Bye for now.